Unearth, the band that connects their PayPal to every metal band's Spotify account. I mean, if I'm donating to As I Lay Dying, I'm actually donating to Unearth or Ken Susi. I don't know. Somebody's taking all this money. Unearth is a metalcore band, early metalcore, I would say. That's where they thrive, and nothing else. That is the only genre they peak in. If you look at the other genres, let's say heavy metal, rock, metal, thrash metal, no, they're none of that. They're just metalcore. I don't know why they need to add all these other genres. Like, come on, it's simple. Just keep it one. And there's a certain individual that runs this band. I would say is behind all the good shit, and that's Ken Susi. And in fact, this guy does not have a Wikipedia page. Actually, none of them do. So they're all nobodies, but in such a monumental metalcore band. From Massachusetts, obviously. I don't know where else they would be from. But before all that, they were known as Point 4 or .04, I don't know. Consisting of like 3 members, McGrath and 2 other guys that I could maybe name, Rudberg and Rybicki. And then Ken Susi later joins on to fulfill his destiny. And there's something just oh so familiar with this guy. It's almost like what he looks like. Ah, right, of course. How could I forget? Anyways, let's talk about how this guy had appendicitis. And he was thinking about joining one of Ken Susi's metal bands, but he's like, I'm a little skeptical about it. This guy's he's kind of sketchy enough already. So, anyways, he shows up to one of the practices and he sees Unearth practicing and he's like, "What?" And he heard one of the songs, Shattered by the Sun, and he was like, "Wow, this is the shit, man. I'm going to join. I'm going to be the vocalist." And interestingly enough, Unearth was coined by the drummer. He wanted the band to unearth a new sound in the hardcore and metal world. So I mean, I guess they kind of did that in a way, in their own way. So good job. So after getting everybody together, they decided to record their first EP, Above the Fall of Man, in '99. There's not too much to say about this though. I have never heard of it, so it must be not very good. I don't know. But we can have a look at their first album, The Stings of Conscience. They released this album in 2001, and it was produced by your boy Adam D. Always, goddamn godfather of metalcore. And oh, Guitar World thinks this album is groundbreaking, which okay. I mean, maybe groundbreaking at the time. I tried listening to it the other day, and I'm like, this is it's very old, but maybe when it was released in 2001, people were like, "Holy shit, these riffs, it's crazy." When I listened to it, it's like, I've heard metalcore before, and now maybe I should stop listening to metalcore. Anyways, by all means, listen to the album just a little bit and then see if you like it. After that, they decided, let's release another EP and then do some lineup changes, which I guess for the better. Oh my god, what am I saying? For the best. They decided, let's start writing really good music and release The Oncoming Storm, which features the first song that sends you straight to hell, The Great Dividers. Oh man, just that one chord just going and he just screaming his heart out. Oh my god, so good. And has a bunch of other great songs too, like Failure, that one riff. Very good. Zombie Autopilot, there's a music video for that, and that breakdown in the middle, it's unforgettable. And yeah, just the whole album is just metalcore at its peak. I mean, come on, look what was happening around this time. Like, just pure genius. After releasing this album, they were doing lots of touring and playing with bands like Slipknot and As I Lay Dying. So they were basically reaching new heights or lows, depending on if you like Slipknot or not. Let me side note here. You know what these friggin' dudes would do in their free time? They would literally go have a plate of 100+ wings and then go and play crochet. Wait, no, that's not what it's called. Croconaut? No. No. Oh, croquet. Croquet. Yes, and maybe some ring toss. Anyways, it was essentially 20 minutes of recording and 5 hours of hanging out, which is the ultimate pool time. I mean shit, that's what you got to do when you're recording an album. Minimal time is spent actually recording, and the rest of it is just hanging out and doing random shit. So back to Unearth's discography. In early 2006, when they came back from their tour, they started writing for their album In the Eyes of Fire with producer Terry Date. Now, Terry Date has produced for many bands like Deftones, Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, Pantera. Oh my god, Pantera, let me tell you. How this guy affected me is with these 4 Pantera albums, Cowboys from Hell, all the way up to Trendkill. All just fantastic albums, and without this guy's help, I don't think they would be as great as they are. And yes, I'm including Trendkill. That album has so much emotion, man. My god. So after they recorded In the Eyes of the Fire, which, I mean, pretty good album, has some decent songs on there. They went touring around Europe and Japan and stuff. And they did a headline tour with Job for a Cowboy, great band, Despised Icon, and Dath. On top of that, they had a Canadian US tour where they fired their drummer, Mike Justian, and recruited a young strapping lad, Gene Hoagland, for the rest of the tour. What a great choice. I mean, this is a splendid, well young man. Then after that, they got a new drummer. Unearth was just cycling through drummers throughout their whole career. Oh, and something I should mention here, they did a live DVD performance where they absolutely killed it. I mean, just Ken Susi McGrath just going crazy as they always do. Everything is just tight and well put together and just not a disappointment. It's really good. They even play stuff from their old albums, like the first one and the Oncoming Storm as well. They play great dividers. I mean, you can't pass that up. And then check this out. This masterpiece literally describes metalcore in a nutshell. You feel it, smell it, imagine it. This dark and a little bit cold fall, gloomy environment. That's exactly what I think of. So the March featured many great songs. It had My Will Be Done, Grave of Opportunity, Cutman, The March the Song, and it also has a sick album cover too. Some man is getting grabbed onto by a bunch of other mans. Sounds very familiar. And there's a little documentary on this too, where you can see them eat the 100 plus chicken wings and play ring toss and hang out and shit. Now, when it comes to recently in 2022, they brought back Mike Justian, the guy that was the drummer way before that they just had major issues with. They're like, you know what? Let's bring him back for some more situations where we can kick him out again. And something tells me for all these years that he's hasn't been in the band, he's been like trying to get in the band. He's like, please, I want to be in Unearth so bad. Like, link me all the PayPal money. Poor guy. He just doesn't know what's coming for him. Now, don't get me wrong, Unearth is a great band, but they've been releasing some pretty mid albums after the March. Very lackluster. I don't know. If we look at Darkness and the Light, it has a couple good songs on there, like the first song and Last Wish. That song's really good too. But the rest of them just kind of sound like, riffs and stuff. Watchers of the Rule, that's an okay album as well. It's got The Swarm on it. Nothing too much to talk about though. And Extinction, I think the only good song on there is like Incinerate. So yeah, just when you combine them all together, Unearth is not on a good trajectory when it comes to new and improved songwriting. But they clearly have some fans that keep listening to them, so they just gotta keep doing that shit. So my advice to Unearth is that since they're really good at shows, live shows, they should keep striving for that, striving for the best show and going crazy on stage, whatever. When it comes to songwriting, I think they should veer off from their metalcore sound just a little bit and add a little more elements of stuff from different genres, maybe, or whatever they come up with that sounds a little far off, just to make it the band more of a dynamic band. I really believe they could get more fans if they just kind of expand their horizons a little bit. But if they decide to, stick with the metalcore stuff, then that's perfect. I'll stop listening to them. Like, no problem at all. So instead of writing new music, Buzz was too busy shooting his cummies in his bunk and claiming that, if you go in there, you might get pregnant. And apparently, a suicide girl was very pleased. I think she wants you, bro.